Drop your crowns in the chat as you come into the room and your location. Welcome to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We'll be starting very, very soon. Welcome to our Real Housewives of New York recap. Let's get more people in the room. Share this live. Like this video if you haven't already. Welcome, everyone. What's going on TikTok? We're live on multiple platforms. Welcome to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, everyone. Drop your crowns in chat and your location. I see Brooklyn. I see California. I see San Francisco. I see Maryland. What's going on? Come on into the chat room. Yes. Welcome to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. I'm your boy, TheKempire, and we are live on multiple platforms, including our Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're live on Facebook, TheKempire, and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on Twitch and Twitter at TheKempire. Shout out to my TikTok fam. Make sure to follow me on my backup. Unfortunately, I had to have, I've always had this particular profile, Kempire Daily on TikTok. I went through the whole Ban-Nation situation with you guys yesterday. Just follow me on that platform. That way you're not missing out on any of the hot topics. I've also posted a couple of new videos today on the channel, so be sure to check that out. We have some Real Housewives of Atlanta news, Blueprint, aka BET Presents the Encore. More news on that. Be sure to check out those videos. And of course, I had some Real Housewives of New York news that I wanted to talk to you about. And of course, this is our weekly Real Housewives of New York recap. Don't forget, I dropped by Up and Adam's channel earlier today to talk about the Real Housewives of New York. But even a few hours later, I have different opinions based on this episode. I rewatched it. But before we get into that, shout out to everyone that's in the chat. Shout out to our mods. Shout out to our Team Kempire members. If you would like to become a part of our membership program here on Kempire Daily, more details are available at TeamKempire.com. Or if you're watching from your computer, click the join button. And it's an easy way for you to join our Team Kempire or Royal Court memberships. Shout out to everyone. LA's in the house. Florida's in the house. What's going on? Someone said, what's up, Buttercup? Trini Girl's in the house. What's going on, Lillian? What's going on, ID? Black Jelly. What's going on? Aaliyah. Common Thread. I appreciate you all being here. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of New York. And after watching it a second time, I'm like, there really wasn't a lot. And I've said this multiple times. RHONY is my favorite city of the entire franchise up until this season. The season has not been great. The last couple of episodes have been a little bit better. And I get it. They have to address certain issues. But Ramona, look, she's giving me neck issues. What's going on, Nelson? East Orange, New Jersey's in the house. Aaliyah says this. I had a hard time being on the Up and Adam because you can see the convert in the chat. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't see. I mean, it's hard when we're going back and forth. That's not normal for Up and Adam's channel. So I don't know what people were saying in that chat, but we already know, and I've seen it not just in the chat, but I've seen it in the comment section of my videos where people are talking about this whole Ramona and Ebony situation. I've seen a lot of very problematic conversations happening. So only reason why I even go on Up and Adam is because I know he's a stand-up guy, and then that is no reflection of him or his channel. But I think the topic of the Real Housewives of New York has become very, like, the conversation has become very heated. So I apologize if that was your experience there. That's not the normal experience in that chat. So just an FYI. Nicole says Ramona is truly touched. We're gonna talk about it. Obi, thank you so much for the super chat. Hold on, Obi, you gotta get the treatment too. Let's get some. Thank you, Obi. Obi says this: Leah can go. Did I forget to mention Leah can go? Oh, sorry, I meant to say Leah can go. I didn't know what you meant, Obi. I didn't know what you meant. Guys, let's just talk about it. I wrote some notes, but I didn't have to take a lot of notes because a lot didn't happen in this particular episode. Let me just open my notes. At the top of the episode, at the top of the season, Leah talked about converting to Judaism. Judaism. There we go. And I called BS from the beginning. I said, uh-oh, here she go. Here's her storyline. This is what she's going to do this season. Okay? It is what it is. It is what it is. If this is what she wants to do, okay. But I just don't want you to use religion as your storyline. Don't use religion as your storyline, especially if you're not serious about it. But apparently she is. She's going through the process, allegedly. She's going through the process. And she's talking about how difficult it is for her to learn the Hebrew language. I can only imagine. Learning a new language in general, but Hebrew even more, that's going to be difficult, especially at an adult age. So if she really is doing the work, okay, girl. All right. But as I said to you before, RHONY did this episode, even though the last couple of episodes have been entertaining, this episode just seemed to kind of go very quickly. And before we knew it, we were at the Black Shabbat. And we'll get there in just a second. Everyone just joining us, be sure to like this video. Once we get to 100 likes, I'll post the call-in link so that you guys can share your thoughts. Leah has already disliked the video. It's okay, Leah. We don't like each other. That's fine. Lillian says Leah is not serious. Please. Just simply says Leah is annoying remotely and in person. We're going to talk about that. Because you saw the title of this particular video. Like, I know a lot of people probably think that I'm BSing you when I said this new season, I didn't love Leah last season, but I was going to try and be open to Leah this season. And from the gate, she annoyed me. From the gate. But we'll get there. She did have a funny moment. And we'll get into that in just a second. So Ramona is becoming a real estate agent. Okay? I think it's actually very fitting because Ramona is pushy. Ramona is annoying. Not to say real estate agents are annoying, but you're a salesperson. So there's a level of pushiness that you have to have. And she also, when she does take on a new task, she does get very serious about it. And I do see her becoming serious about it. But her interaction with the agent, remember the agent that she's working with that's mentoring her? That's the son of the owner of the real estate agency. Okay? And she's hitting him and she's cutting him off, telling him to shh. I was like, Ramona. Like, Ramona just can't help but be herself. And I think because she hasn't received backlash, she's received some backlash, more backlash this year than ever. But no one has ever said to her, Ramona, no, that's not correct. Bethany has told her multiple times over the years that she's a terrible person. But I think more people probably need to do it because Ramona she has not gotten better. Like, she was so disrespectful to that agent that's trying to help her and mentor her in this whole world of real estate. First of all, the fact that she even got this guy as a mentor, you know how many up-and-coming real estate agents would love to work with this guy as a mentor in New York City real estate? and you're getting it because of your privilege, your celebrity privilege, your white privilege, whatever you want to call it. You're getting it because of your privilege. You know how many people would pay for time like that he's giving you? He's selling $1 million real estate here in New York. Just saying. Let me see what you guys are saying. Shout out to Common Thread. Welcome to your membership here on the channel. Appreciate you supporting. Lillian says Ramona has no filter. And every once in a while, that can be enjoyable. But a lot of the times, especially this season, it has not been. Guy who was looking at the place was nice looking. Nicole. It's funny you said that. I was looking at the property. I love looking at New York City real estate. I meant to look it up before this live. I just didn't have the time because I was rewatching the episode. Because you guys, we love to look at real estate, especially New York real estate. And I love $1 Million Listing. I know I haven't done a live here about it. I've done some recaps on my TikTok, but I love $1 Million Listing New York specifically. LA, But seeing that, mind you, that was a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, almost $18 million. New York City, you better lower your prices, okay? Just saying. Jan says, Ramona getting the mentoring is not because of white privilege, but rather RHONY privilege. Well, it's a combination. It's a combination because when I say white privilege, there are a lot of up-and-coming people of color that would have loved that opportunity, but they don't get that opportunity because even if Ramona wasn't on the show, she probably could have gotten that opportunity because of privilege. Trust and believe, especially if you live in New York, you understand what I'm saying. Drama says it's definitely both. That's the thing. If you don't live in New York, or if you're not a person of color, then you probably won't understand, and that's part of what Ebony is bringing up. Especially if you don't live in New York, or if you don't see what goes on, I'm just saying she's not just getting mentored by a real estate agent. She's getting mentored by one of the top real estate agents in the city. Yes, there's a handoff situation because they're going to have their property featured on the show. There is something there, but trust and believe, there's more to it. There's more to it. French Light says, I agree with that assessment, Kempire. And look, I'm not looking for you guys to agree with me. It's okay to disagree with me, but be respectful as always. TikTok, be sure to follow me on my Kempire Daily TikTok. We are currently banned from hosting. We can go live, but we can't post. But also you can follow me here on Kempire Daily on YouTube. All right, let's get back into this episode. So she's selling real estate. She was very mean to the man. She hit him. She told him to shh at one point. Hold on, let me just get some of these things. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Just know that there is a YouTube filter. So sometimes it's not us deleting your comments. Sometimes the filter is filtering out depending on certain things that you say. Sometimes it's nothing you really even said that was derogatory or hinting at derogatory. Sometimes it just filters it. I don't know why. We're living in a world of filtration, i.e. TikTok, and now, of course, YouTube. Let me see what you guys are saying. Randa Deba. Now, Ebony's tagline makes sense. I've had to work twice as hard for half as much, but now I'm coming for everything. That part, like, I don't even think people understood what she meant by that. I don't even think people understood what she meant by that. And some people will never understand unless you've walked in her shoes or a person of color's shoes. Okay, anyways. So Ramona's selling real estate. I do think it's impressive, especially because I don't think Ramona has to sell real estate at this point in her life. Could it be just another way for her to move herself from RHONY to a new opportunity on $1 Million Listing New York? I wouldn't mind seeing her on that because I don't think we would necessarily see a problematic side of her. If anything, we would probably just see her selling real estate and not necessarily her personal life. So it becomes a little bit more about real estate than just Ramona's problematic behavior. Okay. Once we get to 100 likes, I will be dropping the call-in link because I do want to hear your thoughts on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New York. As you know, every single week we recap The Real Housewives of New York. Speaking of New York, I posted a video yesterday talking about Andy Cohen's exclusive interview with Entertainment Tonight. And one of the things that he said on Entertainment Tonight was that he is not expecting, and not so many words, he's not expecting a shakeup of the Real Housewives of New York. You know, we've been reporting on a possible shakeup. It was rumored that Ramona was going to be fired. It was rumored that Leah and Ebony's jobs weren't safe. Well, according to Andy Cohen, he's saying that RHONY had a tough year filming because of the pandemic. It should be noted here in New York, very much unlike some of the other states, but specifically New York City was on a strict lockdown. When things really hit the fan, the mayor, the New York governor, who's now not the New York governor, who's resigning, they really took it seriously, and we were on a full lockdown. We really just opened up not too long ago. So with that being said, I get it where they were limited on what they can do, but I also think the chemistry of the cast is lacking. I think there should have been more housewives. We didn't have any housewives on the show. Yes, Luann and Ramona were former housewives, you know, that were married on the show. Sonia, we were introduced, she was already divorced. And then you introduced Leah, and then you introduced Ebony, both people that weren't married at the time. It goes back to what Jill Zarin was saying. There was no male energy on the show. And once we got a little male energy at that little party for Ramona and Sonia, y'all were excited. When we got to see Leah's brother, y'all were excited. So maybe we do need some male energy on the show. Maybe we need some more male energy on the show. Jesus says, it's not that Ramona should be canceled. Ramona needs to be held accountable on her actions. We need Dorinda on the show. Speaking of Dorinda, I posted a video earlier today. Oh, wait. Aaliyah says, Ramona's using reality thing to find hot, as she put it. I can't. But speaking of Dorinda, Dorinda was a guest on Watch What Happens Live last night, and she revealed a lot of different things. First of all, Dorinda has a new book out. I posted a little bit more on the video, but I'll just give you some quick highlights on some of the things that she said. She confirmed that Bravo put her on pause. They didn't fire her, though. Even Andy referred to it as a pause. So they're very interested in bringing Dorinda back. And, of course, you guys have said on all of my platforms, you want Dorinda to come back. And based on everyone's reaction to her coming on Watch What Happens Live, everyone wants Dorinda to come back. And it looks like Dorinda might be coming back. And I made the suggestion earlier today that with Bluestone Manor being put on Airbnb, you can get 2 nights at Bluestone Manor in the month of August. Why don't they host a reunion at Bluestone Manor? It'd be a great transition. You have Dorinda open it up. She'll just come say hi, but maybe she doesn't want Ramona in her house because she confirmed in this conversation that she speaks to all the other housewives except Ramona. Remind you, we were introduced to Dorinda. We didn't speak to her then, but she was at a Ramona event because they've known each other before the show. That's the magic of RHONY, is that these women really did know each other, or knew each other, I should say. DGF says, even though Tinsley and Dorinda clashed, the chemistry that they added is missed. They also had a real relationship drama with Scott and John. I agree. And some people are, not on board with Tinsley coming back. I wouldn't mind if Tinsley came back, even as a friend of. She doesn't have to be a housewife because, as I said before, I need actual housewives. But there is some unfinished business there. Speaking of Tinsley, Dorinda did confirm on Watch What Happens Live when she found out about the whole Scott breakup situation, she did reach out to Tinsley. So, and was she right? She was right about Scott. But I would like to see this all be played out on the show. Okay? Aaliyah, I love this idea. I think was it you, Aaliyah? Someone else said this in the comments on one of the videos. Kempire should shoot from the Berkshires with Adam. Adam and I already see it in the future. He doesn't know this yet. We can tell him later. Adam and I will do something on that level in the future. Mark my words. He and I are going to collab on. We have a good back and forth. Lori says the entire cast needs to go, in my opinion. I mean, I'm always in favor of a huge shakeup like that. But Bravo, NBC Universal, those executives they're very conservative with their decisions. And I get it because they have to be safe. They want advertisers. So I would love to see a huge shakeup like that. I mean, I'll be like, oh my gosh. But then it probably really would delay New York for a long time for them to really cast some really amazing housewives. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. DGF says Tinsley and Dorinda are the real fashion girls of the show. I miss their style. Dorinda, I actually really would like to read Dorinda's book, Make It Nice, because Dorinda's lived a life. She's lived a life. I really hope she goes there in the book, because there are some other things that I don't think Dorinda shared, especially when it comes to sobriety and things like that. I'm not sure she's addressing that in the book, but I want her to. But she's also lived a life beyond that. Remember, she lived for years in England, and she's really had a life, and I'd be really interested in that. Nana says, it's about the money, honey. It's true. Advertisers. It's advertisers. Let me see what you guys are saying. All right. Okay. Who disliked it? Let me think. Wait, let me think of who may have disliked it. Hold on, y'all. Let me just hold on. I want to see some of these comments, y'all. Hello there says, I'm usually unfazed by Ramona, but I was gasping a lot of her behavior this episode. Wow, Ramona. Wow. Okay, let's talk about the Black Shabbat dinner. So Ebony was hosting a Black Shabbat dinner. Okay. This episode really was about the Black Shabbat dinner. Everything that happened before, Sonya's date with that man, it was awkward. I definitely think that's Sonya's type, but I think Sonya needs someone a little bit more charming. But this was her first arranged date. You're not going to hit it out the box the first time always. You know what I mean? I would be interested in seeing more of Sonya dating. I do want to see Sonya sort of settle down. Just a little bit. Just a little. Okay. Speaking of Ramona's behavior, let's talk about the Black Shabbat dinner. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like it. Once we get to 100 likes, I will be dropping the call-in number for you guys to call in and share your thoughts. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you're getting a weekly live recap of RHONY and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tomorrow. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on anything. Daily and consistent content here on the channel. Okay. Oh, Lord. Who peed in the driveway after the Shabbat? Please don't tell me, don't let it be Ramona. Well, we already kind of know. Well, not kind of, we do know. It was Sonya. We see it in the preview. I just come on. That, first of all, is disrespectful to Archie. Archie is the one hosting this, a Black Shabbat, in her home in New Jersey. It's a beautiful home. I mean, decor-wise, it's not necessarily my decor, but you could tell the bones of it. It's a big, beautiful home. Shout out to Archie. She's also the owner of Jew Belong, an inclusive group. And she was one of the people from the Jewish community that had a conversation with a Black organization that Ebony's a part of to talk about, Black Lives Matter and things like that. And that's what Black Shabbat was supposed to be. It was about to have open dialogue about these two groups that have very similar backgrounds and where they found common ground. But of course, Ramona had to make it about herself. Ramona, I can't believe that we're still learning new things about these women years later. We learned some things about Ramona and Sonya back in Salem. This week, we learned that Ramona was engaged to a Jewish man. And she called up the engagement because he wouldn't appreciate the fact that she was going to convert. I was like, I didn't know this story about Ramona. I had no idea. You guys are reacting to Sonya and what she did. And a few people were saying that. I saw when Archie and Ebony went live last night after RHONY, a lot of people were saying they would like to see Archie on the show. And I said this, I had this conversation with my friend Alex about we don't really see a lot of representation of Jewish women, Jewish families on the show. Yes, we had, who did we have? What was her name? Oh my gosh, she was half Jewish and half Japanese, right? I can't remember her name. You guys will remind me of her name. That was probably one of the rare times. And we don't see it a lot. In New York, I mean, you could find a lot. Well, but Jill Zarin also was Jewish too, right? But we didn't really see the traditions. We didn't see any of those traditions. Julie, yes, Julie. But I feel at least with Jules, Julie, whatever you want to call her. At least with her, I don't think with Jill Zarin we got the Jewish traditions. At least with Jules, we got to see Jewish traditions a little bit. I would like to see more of that, and I'm glad it took Ebony. Not only are we talking about these other social injustices and issues, she's also bringing another community into the show and how they bonded. So I thought that was interesting. But let me get to my weekly rant about Leah. Y'all know I have to get into my weekly rant. Hold on, y'all. Let me just move this up a little bit. Here's my weekly rant about Leah. As I said to you before, I was trying to be open to Leah. However, Leah, why was Leah so annoying? Like, oh, I can't hear. I can't see. This is what should have happened. And you guys know I'm a straight shooter. Ebony, you should have invited Bershaw. Bershawn Shaw should have been invited to this party. I'm not sure what Bershawn would have added, but I need a little bit more of Bershawn. I think this would have been especially because you're calling it Black Shabbat. You weren't being inclusive, Ebony. You weren't being inclusive. You should have invited Bershaw. I'm just going to say, you should have invited Bershaw, and we should have gotten a Bershaw moment. Leah couldn't make it. Leah just wanted to be a part. Because she knows she wants to show. She wants TV time. It's not that she really wanted to be a part of this Black Shabbat dinner. And she was annoying even on FaceTime. She was so annoying. She's like, I can't see. I can't hear. What? Okay, I'll give her when she did the blessing prayer and she sang. I was like, okay, that's pretty. But other than that, I was like, okay, Leah, you can go. You can go. Year on my TikTok says, I agree with her not inviting Bershawn because of the way she dismissed Ebony's feelings during the Harlem night. Okay, I can see that, but that was how many episodes, how many weeks ago before that? And my thing is, if you know she's on the show, you also find out that Leah's not able to make it. Why not invite her? Why not invite her? Because you have to also remember you're shooting a show, and she's another Black woman that is on the show. I honestly, I would have been like, even if I don't like her, I'm going to invite her. I'm going to invite her, especially because you're talking about Black Shabbat. This would have been a great opportunity. And then if she puts her foot in her mouth, she puts her foot in her mouth. Hello there says she can invite Ramona Luann, who have said really ignorant things, yet she doesn't invite Bershawn. I mean, I do. Look, you guys know I'm a straight shooter. I like Ebony for the show. However, I feel like in that particular moment, she could have invited Bershawn, especially because she claimed there wasn't enough room. But there was enough room to invite a virtual Leah. But of course, not to be outdone, Ramona has a hissy fit. She brings up how Italians and Jews have a lot in common. She brings up when it goes from Italians, it goes to her own suffering and how Jewish people were mean to her. First of all, what in the narcissism are you making this about you? And I'm not going to forget about Sonia. Sonia saying the Blacks and the Jews. And I love Ebony's friends who are like, oh, the Blacks and the Jews. Okay. I look, Sonia's trying, but I always have my eye on Sonia. I'm like, okay. The Blacks and the Jews? All righty. Okay. Hello there says, I agreed with Leah in that confessional. People are mean to her because she's so disrespectful. Leah did have a funny moment where she was like, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said not only did the Jewish people didn't like her, I believe no one liked her in college. I was like, that made me laugh. Leah. One for you. All right, we're already at 100 over 100 likes. I'm going to drop the call-in link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New York. I've already been speaking for 30 minutes. I don't know where the time goes, but I appreciate you all being here. We have almost 300 people watching. Be sure to like this video if you haven't liked it already. Subscribe to the channel because you're getting daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. Melissa says, I'm sure Brashawn would have known how to behave at this dinner, unlike Ramona. Good point. Good point. And I still feel like Brashawn should have been invited, especially when you said it was because of room. You could have, you really could have invited her. I don't know. Maybe Brashawn was in DC because allegedly that's where she lives. All right. Let me just drop this call-in link so you guys can call in and share your thoughts on the latest episode of RHONY. And guys, you know, I'm going to just ask you in the chat. I'm going to ask you in the chat, from a rating 1 to 10, what would you rate this latest episode? Not the season, but this latest episode as a standalone. How would you rate this? And let me pin this. Also, guys, as I said to you before, I posted 3 new videos today. So if you missed it, I had a video on the Real Housewives of Atlanta casting. I also had a new video on what Dorinda said during Watch What Happens Live and some other little tidbits. And wow. Oh, look at those numbers come in. 6, 5, 8, 2. Oh, damn, 2, 7. Okay, 5, 6, -1. Come on, Q. Nicole says 4.5. Wow, Nicole, that was really thought out. 4.5, just saying. 6, 5, 8. Melissa says this episode was a shameful disaster. Oof. Jola says 5, maybe 6. Ramona was doing too much on the episode. Based on what I'm seeing, overall, it seems between a 5 and a 6. So I'm going to say a 5 is where you guys are going in regards to what you would have rated this episode of The Real Housewives of New York. I would say 5 as well. I would give this episode a 5. It was okay. I feel like the last couple of episodes were better than this one. It just seemed like a lot didn't happen in the beginning, and then we got to Black Shabbat, and it was like, 5-0. Hello there says, it was a good episode, more entertaining than the past ones. Okay. I feel like the last 2 episodes were pretty good. Lillian says a 3.5. Damn, you guys are harsh. Years on my TikTok says, only because Sonya's comments were laughable and Luann did the smart thing by shutting up. And Yer gives a rating of 6. Okay. What did you think of Dorinda on Watch What Happens Live saying her biggest regret was not being asked back? And we talked about a little bit about that earlier, that, you know, she confirmed that she was put on pause. And I do really believe that Dorinda will be coming back just because of the overwhelming people that want Dorinda to come back. And they saw a huge ratings decline this season. I don't think we're going to lose Leah, unfortunately. If I have my way, Leah needs to go. But I definitely think that we're going to get Dorinda back. Tracy says, there's just nothing going on. Boring. QK says, I still don't get how long it took to have Black people on there. I know, Q. I've been saying that for years. If you grew up in New York, it's like, come on. And we're not just talking about women that live in the Upper East Side. There were some Black people that live in the Upper East Side that would have been good on the show. Just saying. Year on my TikTok. Shout out to my TikTok. Be sure to follow me TikTok on Kempire Daily on TikTok because I'm banned from posting on my Kempire until tomorrow at some point. I said this earlier today when I dropped by Up and Adams. Look, I love Bethany. Bethany was one of my favorite housewives of the entire franchise. But business-wise, if I have to think about business-wise, it just is not going to look good for her business that she's coming back to the Real Housewives of New York. She tweeted that, you know, she hasn't really been watching. She's been out of it. But she also said, you know what? The teams don't always get it right. Sometimes it just you just don't do well. Doesn't mean that the show is over. Remember, this, I feel like this has been New York's worst season. However, they've had the majority of the time really great seasons. So I'm still going to hold out hope for next season, and I think that Bravo is taking it very seriously. Hello there says Bethany is too condescending. Hey, Kirby Queen. Hey, Mr. Kemp. Ow, the cab has come out. Only because I haven't shaved. I need to shave. I got to clean up. I'll do that tomorrow. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow we will be doing a recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills here on the channel. And next week, Thursday, Up and Adam will be here joining me for a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap as well. Aaliyah says, it should be on free basic TV. I have to pay extra for the Bravo channel, so I'm being cheap about it and watch the bootleg on YouTube. You know, and I mentioned this earlier too. I feel part of the reason why they've seen a decline in ratings is because people are giving up cable. People are streaming most of what they watch. So that has been a huge reason why they've seen a decline, and why people like myself and other content creators on YouTube have built such a large audience, because you're more entertained by us talking about some of these shows and some of your favorite celebrities. Phyllis says, no, it's because of Ebony. Okay. P says, Bethany went overboard with plugging Skinny Girl merch. I mean, I don't think that hurt her, though. I don't think that hurt her. Maybe it hurt her business-wise because now she's not on the show. I'm not sure what her numbers have been since she's been off of the Real Housewives of New York, but it was a huge platform for her. It made her very, very rich, and I've enjoyed Bethany on the show, but I just feel the third time, it might not end up well for her. It might not end up well for her. I didn't love Bethany's own show on HBO Max. I don't know if anyone else watched it. The Big Shot with Bethany. It wasn't really good. So I think Bethany has a future doing other things. I'm just not sure exactly what it is. I don't think it's coming back to the Real Housewives of New York. Bunny Cheeks, thank you so much for asking this. I do actually have a backup channel, and I only call it a backup channel only because Kempire Daily has grown so much. We're almost at 30,000 subscribers. So shout out to you guys that have subscribed and are following and viewing and sharing. Appreciate you. Please understand I don't take your support lightly. My backup channel is actually my original channel. For those that aren't familiar, I started out doing online radio, and it was called Kempire Radio. I interviewed some of your favorite musicians, actors, TV icons like Oprah Winfrey, and you can see some of those interviews and hear some of those interviews on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. Subscribe to that so you guys don't miss out on anything there. What I have, and I'll do an exclusive with you guys. What I've been thinking of doing, because I still have Kempire Radio as a podcast, that comes out every single week where you get different content than you get on these other platforms. And I can be a little bit more free with what I say than I can be on some of these other platforms when it comes to community guidelines, hence why I'm banned on TikTok. I know you're probably tired of hearing me saying that, but I think it's important for you to follow me on those other platforms so you don't miss out, because I'm still giving you content no matter where it is. And Kempire Radio here on YouTube is my backup channel, but I've been thinking of recording the podcast live on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. That way, although you can get it on your podcast platforms, I'm developing content there as well. I'm still posting on that channel, so there's still content coming out there. But like I said, I'm going to try and do something different with that channel, so it's not really treated like a backup channel, but something where it's worth subscribing to. So thank you for asking that, Bunny Cheeks. P says this. Also, NBC Universal is double dipping, in my opinion, with moving the limited reality portfolio to Peacock. I ain't paying for Peacock. Nope. To watch full episodes of Real Housewives, especially etc. franchises. There is a free version of Peacock. I've watched a couple of different things on there. So there is a free version. Of course, they are trying to build that out. That's why they're bringing certain content there. And I guess they're going to test out the Real Housewives of Miami, because that will be exclusively on Peacock. I'm sure that you'll be able to watch it there, but with commercials, if you want commercial free, I believe it's like $10 a month for commercials free. I know it's like so many different apps. Okay. All right. So we're gonna take a couple callers, and then I'm gonna round out this conversation. Hold on 1 second. Let me take a sip. Lillian says, you'd be a better host on Bravo than Andy, especially on the reunions, Kempire. I appreciate you guys saying that, but there's so many great people on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. That would be great. So I think they should consider all of us, and then decide from there. Pretty sure All Stars will be on. Yes, All Stars will definitely be on Peacock. It will be, from what we hear, according to Ramona, it will be coming out in November on Peacock. They already did promo photos for it, and I already heard. It sounds like it's going to be good, y'all. The Real Housewives of the Real Housewives All Stars, Real Housewives Vacation Series, what they're calling it. I just kind of wish it came out sooner because you remember they filmed this months ago. It's sort of like, I understand with timing, that's why they're doing it that way. But I just kind of was like, it should have came out like during the summer for me. Or at least September. But what we're hearing is November. November is when it's coming out. Q says, Housewives should be paying me to watch it, to be honest. I know. And at this point, right? At this point. And word on the street is that they're not happy with how Bravo production company or Andy Cohen allegedly have been handling casting for these shows. They're blaming them. They're blaming them for that. I'm also posting the Texan community. Shout out to my Texan community. My Texan community is growing, y'all. We are growing. I love chatting with you. I love wishing you a happy birthday on your birthday. So be sure to join our Texan community. You can either text me at this number or head on over to TextKempire.com. Don't forget also Kempire Radio, my podcast, comes out every single week. And there we talk about a variety of topics that I don't talk about anywhere else. And I can get a little shadier on those platforms. So be sure to check that out. Q said, as asking, is Miami going to Peacock too? Yes. Miami, the Real Housewives of Miami, I don't know. I guess they're just calling the Real Housewives of Miami, but their comeback will be on Peacock exclusively. Randa says, I think Tiffany Cross and MSNBC or Angela Rye would be ideal, but I know they wouldn't do it. Here's the thing. And we saw this with, I forgot his name. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. He started hosting, he was on CNN and then he hosted the Basketball Wives reunion. That wasn't a good look for him. And so I don't want to see them do that. I think they're great on the platforms that they're on. So something that makes sense there. But like I said, there's so much talent. There's so much talent. Why do we still have Andy Cohen hosting these reunions? I get it, he's the executive producer, but come on. Nina, I love Nina, but Nina's done it too. And Nina already is on multiple shows. Let's not limit to the people that we know. Let's think about some of the people that we know that are up and coming. And I'm not talking about me. Kirby, thank you so much for the super chat. Hold on. Let me make sure I give you this same treatment. Yes. Thank you so much. She says, I just love your facial expressions and your laugh when you appear shocked. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Kirby. Appreciate you. Hold on. Thank you, Francesca, for the super chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Oh, the super sticker, sorry. Is it raining and thunderstorm in New York? Nope. It was yesterday. Right now I see the sun, so not yet, but you never know with these hot days. It's a very hot day. Shout out to my TikTok fam. I appreciate you all being here. Someone says the Real Alcoholics of New York City. Oh, Lord. Let me see what you guys are saying. French Life says, Andy just got to be in everything. He needs to step aside and give others a chance. Look, we heard rumor on the street when I was talking last night about Andy's response to Nicki Minaj hosting the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. He pretty much was like, we could bring her in for a segment. He's not giving up the seat. According to Candace, she heard from a producer that Andy's not giving up that seat. So when Nicki posted those receipts of the communication between Andy, her publicist, blah, 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 people were surprised. And now based on what Andy's saying, oh, we can bring her in for a segment. No, Nicki Minaj is not coming in for a segment. I can already hear Nicki Minaj. She's like, nope. Like, nope. I would love this if Tisa Tell should host ATL if Fallon was on it. If Fallon and Portia are on it. Because right now we're not sure if Portia's coming back. It's still up in the air. I think she will, though. I think they're going to offer her enough money to come back. EH says, I knew Andy wasn't giving up his Real Housewives throne, and I knew Bravo didn't have enough money to pay Nikki for a 12-hour day. I thought about that too. That's a long day. That's not an easy. I know it seems like an easy day to us, but that's a lot of filming for one day. But I'm sure Nikki's fully aware. Nikki follows me on TikTok. Wink, wink. Nikki, I can't post. I know you're missing my post. So she's fully aware of what it entails, because I talk about these things too. You know, filming a reunion, it's hours. It's more than 12 hours. It's like a 16-hour day. So it's a long day. Goddess says, bring back Phaedra. Bunny says, Andy wants to be the star too much. And that's the problem. You know, when you see someone that used to work behind the scenes get a little shine in front of the camera, it becomes an ego thing instead of, how can I make this thing that I started evolve and be great? And we talked about this last night, and I'm not going to delve too deep into it, but you get in your own way. Like you're literally getting in front of your own check. Like your franchise it's really hit a wall. It's hit a wall in multiple cities. And at least with me, like when it's my time to give it up, but I'm not from behind the scenes. I've always been in front of the camera. I've done work behind the scenes, but you know what I mean, y'all. D says, Quad just about hosted the Merited Medicine reunion. As first of all, she's on the cast, so I wouldn't want to see her host it. I already said I think someone like Funky Geneva would be good because he does recaps on his channel, and he's funny and he's well versed on Merited Medicine, so I think he would have been good. And he has a following. It's not like, you know, he's some amateur at this either. Yes, it's YouTube. You know, people like to downplay YouTube, but YouTube people have grown a lot over the years, and definitely over the pandemic, a lot of these channels have really, really come a long way. Okay. Let me see. All right. I'm going to round out this conversation. Hold on. Let me see. Goddess says, bring back Phaedra, Nene, Sheree, and Kim. Well, one of the things that I posted on today, Andy said that he would like to bring back someone that we would never expect. And some people were saying Nene, because I've already said I don't expect Nene to come back to Bravo ever. But that would be I actually wouldn't be mad at that if they brought Nene back. I wouldn't be mad if they brought Nene, Sheree, and Kim back. Just saying. He says YouTube is full of talent. There really is. I mean, remember, Justin Bieber was discovered from YouTube. Justin Bieber was discovered from YouTube. So many great talent has been discovered from YouTube. I can't think of her name. She has a NBC late night show. I can't think of her name, and I feel so bad that I don't. You guys will remind me. YouTube is the new cable, and you have access to it on multiple platforms. Only reason why I just started Kempire Daily, I had the channel for a while, but I didn't really do anything with it because I had my own full-time job. I was doing online radio for a while, took a break from that, started traveling. But I started putting myself back out here talking about the things that I've been talking about on radio. So a lot of times people think that I'm new to this. I'm really not. I've been doing this for probably nearly 15 years, talking about celebrities and interviewing celebrities. I'm going to start getting back into interviewing because a lot of you want me to start interviewing some of these folks. It's just, here's the thing with interviewing people. It's the plotting and the planning. Remember, I'm giving you daily content. That already takes up a lot of time. So then scheduling and doing interviews, promoting interviews, that's another undertaking. There are people that I would like to interview, but I want it to be good. I don't want to just interview a random person that you guys are like, okay. But guys, if you're watching replay group, people in the chat, let me know who you really think that I should interview for the channel. And it could be a variety of people. It doesn't have to be a housewife. It doesn't have to be a reality star. As you know, here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, we talk all hot topics, all pop culture. So it can be anyone. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to guys. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today. Thank you to everyone that sent in the super chat. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you'd like to become a member, head on over to TeamKempire.com. And don't forget to join our Texan community that's going across your screen right now at TextKempire.com. That way you get exclusive content from me as well. I know there's just so much stuff that I can share with you guys. Hello, there says interview Ramona. Kenya, I mean, I would be open to interviewing Kenya. Wait, I'd laugh my back off if they had LaToya Jackson host. Oh my gosh, Q. Oh my gosh. This is what you guys are saying. I missed so much up here. Tom G says someone said Monique to host the Potomac reunion as suggested. No, just because she's recently had a relationship with these people. It wouldn't make sense to me. It wouldn't make sense to me. I kind of wish she came back for another season because she just ended on such a high note. But hold on. Interview Portia. Are you guys kidding me right now? You guys are coming up with the ratchetest people for me to interview. Kempire interview Land from Dallas. That will be scary. Portia and Simon. Okay, y'all. Onyx says the baby. No interest in that. Aaliyah says, "Thank you for the work you do. Keep us entertained." Thank you so much, Aaliyah. Appreciate you. Juan from Potomac. Okay. No, he's not gonna do an interview with me. Hello there. You just want trouble. Interview Leah from RHONY. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't liked this video already, be sure to like this video. If you're watching the replay, let me know your thoughts and your rating of the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New York. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. You're getting daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, not just reality TV, but so much more. And if you have a suggestion for who you would like to see me interview here on the channel, if it should be live, pre-recorded, whatever it may be, let me know in the comments as well. Shout out to everyone in the chat. You guys are so shady with it. I heard from Adam, she's not really doing interviews right now because she's working on something. So I know the book was coming out, but I don't know. I mean, I'll reach out. I would love to interview Dorinda, but I kind of want to wait till Dorinda's actually back on the show. Thank you so much, Lillian. Appreciate the love. Interview Dorinda for her new book. Interview Teresa, but do it with her behind bars too. And why is Teresa behind bars? She already did her time. Michael Jeffrey interviewed Tamia when she releases her new album. And I've interviewed, actually Tamia was my very first celebrity interview. And I've interviewed her multiple times since that interview. I would definitely interview Tamia when she has new music out. Someone else said, Kenya, I'm gonna have to work on that. Bill Crosby or Bill Cosby. Oh, Lord. You guys are a mess. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a fantastic evening. As always, we're going to end the show with a little music on our way out. Be sure to like this video. Drop your crowns in the chat. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Check out the description of this video for a variety of information, including my social media. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media. Everything is at TheKempire and at Kempire Daily. So you're never missing out on content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you for the conversation. I should.